Hey guys, what's up? It's the Team Flare Boys here, and we're going to be talking about the screenshot I was talking about in my last video, the codename Lapras screenshot from the allegedly leaked Pokemon Switch demo. So the image has recently surfaced as of, I want to say a day and a half ago, and we've started our analyses on this screenshot, so to say. So this is Pixelpar that we're looking at the moment, who's posted the image and cropped it just to make it a little bit easier to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that image up for everybody just to see a little bit bigger. This is what we're looking at. So there's a couple things about this screenshot that are not really making a lot of sense to me. Supposedly, if this is going to be our new Pokemon Switch game, even if it is a remake of a previous generation, it doesn't really make sense to me that they would keep these square-looking, rocky land buildings. I mean, like, even if they were going to do a remake of, like, a certain region, I feel like for the newer hardware, they would at least create natural-looking environments that aren't like pixeled out in square form like that, where you can distinctively see this little square punch out. A couple people were making analyses that this looks a lot like the road on Kanto to Victory Road when you're surfing there, but I'm going to go ahead and point out some other stuff. Rowlet went ahead and applied some Photoshop filters to the said image, and it looks like certain areas in the photo were worked on with Photoshop. I'll try to blow it up a little bit more. Now, as you can see here, the areas in yellow look like they might have been worked on through Photoshop. I'm not gonna lie, in the water right above where Lapras is headed, that patch of lighter colored water looks really fishy to me. It looks like somebody was trying to recreate textures, and I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Photoshop, but there's lots of tools that can easily like refake textures based on like the surrounding pixels. So something like this is not completely out of the game. I'd say this is definitely a modified image in my opinion. And if we're just going to talk, this model for Lapras, it disappears right into the water, which is a little strange considering you'd think on at least like a console like the Switch, considering on the 3DS we had see-through water that looked a little bit more realistic than this, that why would they revert back to this kind of flat water that you just disappear underneath? And it doesn't make sense because supposedly we can see these other animals in the water, underneath the water. So why can't we see Lapras's flippers? Just a lot of stuff doesn't make sense in this image. Also go on to this next picture that shows just a comparison. This is just comparing the Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon Lapras Rider to the new one. So what they've said, this is a different model for Lapras. And yes, I will agree. This is a completely different model because nothing looks like it's matching up. But with the power of Citra, it's very easily to pull up any game and run it in a higher resolution and remove the hard outer lines, like from the previous game. And this figure just looks a lot more rigid. I will say the shadowing and shading looks a little bit more real, but this like Eevee on top of the head is like so blurry, you can hardly see anything about it. It doesn't look real to me. And another user on Twitter also pointed out, what's this black thing in the person's hand? So somebody zoomed up in on that. There's a little black object in their hand. And another Twitter user compared it to the riding stance for Mudsdale, where you are holding two black handles in your hand. So, I don't know. For me, this screenshot looks like a load of crap, and honestly, if it's real, I'm very disappointed. I know that there were some Chinese leakers or people linked to the Riddler that said the graphics for the next Nintendo Switch game are bad, but I don't know. Is it wrong for me to hope for at least a little bit more? I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned and see, though. What do you guys think? Do you think this is real? Think this is fake? I'm leaning towards completely fake, just for mere hopes of a better game, and just from the analysis I've made. Yeah, peace out, Team Flare Boys.